Ford has been America's truck leader for over 40 years, with the F-150 the most recognizable truck in all of America. The F-150 has won multiple awards in many categories across the U.S., including Motor Trend Truck of the Year for its advancement in design, engineering excellence, safety, value, efficiency, and performance of intended function. But where did the success story of the Ford F-150 begin? And how did it become America's top truck? Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing auto updates. Let's go! It all began back in 1948 when Ford F-150 trucks were introduced to the United States. But then they were known as the Ford bonus-built trucks. They were built on a reliable truck platform, unlike earlier versions that were built from car chassis during the war. Ford's very first truck was built in 1917, and it was based off the Model T and named the Ford Model TT. The truck had a cargo capacity of 1 ton back in the day, which, if you can imagine, was no small feat for that era. The first generation from 1948 to 1952. Each vehicle had a manual transmission and had windshield wipers on the driver's and passenger's side, as well as a foot plunger windshield washer. Back then, this technology was rather advanced, and Ford had accomplished a lot with it. The F1 through F8 designations were used for the initial generation of F-Series trucks. Panel trucks, regular trucks, school buses, cab-over-engine vehicles, and of course pickup trucks were all rated according to their weight. The second generation from 1953 to 1956. The F-Series was completely redesigned as a result. The series also had a significant nomenclature change. They got new engines, redesigned chassis, roomier interiors and exteriors, extras including a radio, dome lights, armrests, and lighter. The F-150 became the F-100 during this time. The F-2 and F-3 combined to become the F-250, and the F-4 became the F-350. These classifications are still in use today. Ford's new 239 CID overhead valve Y-block V8 engine took the place of the F-100's flathead engine in 1953, and it immediately earned the moniker Power King. You heard that right. Third generation from 1957 to 1960. The third generation introduced a new modernized body style where the hood and front fenders were incorporated into the bodywork to produce a clamshell shape that would be a defining characteristic of the truck for the following 20 years. In 1957, the cab-over F-Series was phased out and was replaced with the tilt-cab C-Series, which many people may recall being employed as a fire truck and heavy-duty delivery truck. The fourth generation from 1961 to 1966. Once more, a fresh look with a distinct difference in image appeared. Everything changed in 1965 when the twin I-beam front suspension was introduced. It remained a feature until 1996, and in the F-250 and F-350 4x2 until 2016. The twin I-beam's inclusion increased the vehicle's mobility and made the ride smoother by allowing the front wheels to operate independently of one another. The fifth generation from 1967 to 1972. In comparison to rival models, the cab was 3 inches larger, and the truck's frame was heavier. Base, Custom Cab, and Ranger were the 3 trim options offered between these years. Reflectors at the back of the truck bed are among the new exterior safety elements. For the first time, factory-fitted air conditioning was available instead of a dealer option. A 302 Windsor V8 engine was an optional addition in 1969, along with a revised front design. A new trim for the Ranger XLT was also added during this time period as the top-of-the-line model. Larger cabins, front disc brakes, a petrol tank moved outside the cab, better heating and ventilation, and more galvanized steel were among the significant changes and improvements made to the series. The four-wheel drive Super Cab was also introduced at this time. The Ford F-150 in 1975. The F-150 was released in 1975 and has since grown to become the most popular vehicle in history. That gives me the right to boast. The F-150 made its debut between the F-100 and the F-250 in order to get around certain emission control limits back in the day. And the rest is history. In 1978, the Ford Bronco underwent a revision, that resulted in a variant of the F-Series with a detachable camper shell. The half-ton truck's 460 big block engine's final year in operation was 1979. The seventh generation from 1980 to 1986. Since 1965, this generation has undergone the first comprehensive redesign from the ground up. There have been upgrades to the inside and exterior, improved aerodynamics, and fuel efficiency. Diesel power was added to the F-Series in 1983. A new high-output 5.8-liter Windsor was shown in 1984, while the 5.0-liter V8's electronic fuel injection made its debut in 1985. All other vehicles made the changeover to electronic fuel injection in 1988. The F-100's manufacture ceased in 1983, making the F-150 the lightest pickup truck available. The F-150 stopped offering 3-on-the-tree manual shifting in 1986. This generation introduced upscale amenities for the first time, including power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, interval windshield wipers, tinted windshields, locking gas caps, inside locking hood releases, and a wide range of other options and standards. The eighth generation from 1987 to 1991. This generation's first year featured improved aerodynamics, such as a rounded front clip, softer lines around the fender arches and the rear bed, and an entirely redesigned interior. In 1987, the first 5-speed manual overdrive transmission was released, and 4 speeds were phased out. The Ford F-150 was the first pickup truck sold with a non-carbureted engine in 1988. The F-Series was recognized as the best-selling car in the country in 1989. The ninth generation from 1992 to 1996. A driver's side airbag was added to the F-150 in the 1994 models, along with a new dashboard. A third brake stoplight with a high mount was also added to the new design. New high-tech features included a CD player, electric driver's seat, and remote keyless entry with alarm. Ford's sales reached 800,000 in 1996, surpassing the combined sales of Chevrolet and GMC for the first time in 10 years. 10th generation from 1997 to 2003. Here, Ford made some significant adjustments to its F-Series portfolio, which was essentially divided into 2 groups. The F-150 became a modern personal use vehicle, while the F-250 and F-350 were designated as working-class trucks. The Ford Taurus of 1986's aerodynamics would be applied to the 1997 F-150, making it considerably more streamlined for a better ride and higher fuel efficiency. An ordinary V6 engine took the place of the 4.9-liter inline-6. The 11th generation from 2004 to 2008. In 2004, the F-150 was given a brand new platform. This generation also saw the addition of 4 doors on every F-150, regardless of cab style. This year saw the launch of the Triton engine, and in 2006, a flex fuel variant of the 5.4-liter 3-valve Triton V8 became available. In 2006, several vehicles for the first time included a navigation system as an option. The frontal offset test conducted by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gave the Ford F-150s of this generation not only a good rating, but also the designation of Best Pick. They went on to win the 2004 North American Truck of the Year Award, the 2004 Truck of the Year Award from Motor Trend magazine, and the 2004 and 2005 Best Pickup Truck Awards from Car and Driver magazine. The 12th generation from 2009 to 2014. Since 2009, the interior has undergone numerous modifications, and the exterior features a new 3-bar grille, a roomier cabin, a lighter chassis constructed of high-strength steel, and better towing capability. For the first time in history, all F-Series cars came standard with a V8 engine, and a 6-cylinder was not an option. Beginning in 2011, the F-150 was available with a 3.5-liter direct-injected twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 engine. All engines had a new 6-speed 6R80 automated transmission. The short rear-opening doors of the previous generation were replaced with standard-length doors, and all versions, with the exception of the 6.2, could now be ordered with electric power-assisted steering. 13th generation from 2015 to date. Another first for Ford was made with the 2015 F-150 model. which was the first pickup vehicle to feature adaptive cruise control. This technology provides radar sensors built into the front of the truck that track the separation between you and the car in front of you. The F-150 likewise underwent a significant transformation in 2015, losing 750 pounds by converting to an all-aluminum body from a steel one. This was quite a feat considering that nothing looked visually different, but that the majority of the frame is still made of high-strength steel. In addition to losing a few pounds, a more efficient base engine with a 3.5-liter V6 was added. For 2015, the 2.7L EcoBoost twin-turbo V6 and the 3.5-liter version were both launched. The 14th generation from 2021 to date. The 2021 F-150 underwent a redesign to enhance aerodynamics and interior features, including fold-flat front seats, larger touchscreens, and variable displacement engine technology. The PowerBoost powertrain, which combines an electric motor with a 3.5-liter V6 EcoBoost engine, is the first to be made available in a Ford pickup truck. Check out its overall towing capacity, advanced technological functionality, and powertrain performance, and you would see why the F-150's excellent on- and off-road driving abilities, best-in-class fuel efficiency, and cutting-edge cab design. You're welcome. What's your favorite feature of the F-150? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time. Stay tuned.